Yeah.
And it's a debate because Pilate, that's the Pontius Pilate is the man's name. He's got to make sure everything runs smoothly. So he's not really working within the bounds of religion per se. He's working in the bounds of like, these people are pissed, these people are protesting, these people are rioting. So it's like, well, what do I do? And so it's like, this is what is in my power. So when he makes the order, it's like, well, the man's crime is that he's king of the Jews. That's what the people keep saying. They keep saying he's king of the Jews. He's king of the Jews. And as a Christian, we believe in all the miracles of Jesus, all the things he was able to do, all the things that he made possible, making the sick healed, making the blind see, making the crippled walk, giving those that are hurt, right, a little bit more clarity, And I was just like, wow. Even though we come up short. So the thing is, it's like literally, this man's tombstone, his gravestone, was King of the Jews. That was his crime. Like, not murderer, right? Not adulterer, not thief.
None of that.
Not liar, not none of that.
None of that. I mean, honestly, there's no heinous act, anything that this man could do. Only thing he did was things that people wished and asked for. And honestly, with that being so hard to come by in the world, you know what? Keep going, man. Let me get into that. But go ahead.
It's all good, man. It's something that came to me. And I was like, wow. Let me think. And then I was like, give us barbarous. And I'm like, yo, you know what kind of society you gotta be in?
Damn.
Where it's like, yo, we know this guy over here is a freaking thug, murderer. He killed someone, he shot someone. Yeah. And I was like, okay, Glenn, what do we get pissed off in society? And I was like, well, a lot of times, every time when social media presents ourselves with an innocent, wrongful black death, there's like, the black community is quick to say, we're not white people who shoot up movie theaters, in clubs, in schools. And so I'm like, in churches, What kind of person comes in with a gun in one of the most innocent settings possible? And I'm like, wow, the way those scenarios end is either they die, because they kill themselves, or like cops arrest them without the same proper use of force that they're supposed to, or it doesn't feel like it's a proper use of force, because black people only see the abusement of force in our neighborhoods and in our community. I think I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was like, yeah, man, they went to Dylan Roof's house, the man who shot up the church in Charleston, because we in South Carolina, you know what I mean, that hit home for us. Hey, you shot up a church? Charleston? Are you kidding me? Cops showed up at the house, put him in the back of the cop car, like it was simple, and then they took him to Burger King. What? Give us barbarous. Like, what? Are you kidding me? And the one thing I wish I would have put in that video that I left out was at the end, when Jesus is dead, Jesus dies, right? Some historical text might allude to the fact that his mother, Mary, didn't know which of the three men was her son.
Right.
Just because his body was so mutilated that it was like, I can't bear to witness my son. And so what we have is, after all of the people in our community are dying, we have weeping mothers.
That's absolutely right.
And that's not something we want to see. No parent should have to bury their child.
I think, honestly, for me, the fear of my mother crying over my death is scarier than me dying in itself.
Yeah,
that's the way I feel, man. Honestly,
I'm supposed to bury her. She's supposed to bury me.
Exactly. I'm like, that's me. Like, I'm the kind of person, I don't fear death. Yeah, I fear what would happen to my mama if something happened to me. That's what I think about, man. And I just, it's hard to fathom that for over 400 years, every single black woman who's had and loved a child has had to go through that feeling.
Okay.
Every single one in this country, every single one.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I do get that perspective. I do get that point.
It's like you're almost scared to have a daughter because you know that if she decides that she wants to have children, she'll have to take on that burden as well. And you don't want that kind of stress for anybody. It's so much that comes in the world, comes just by coming in the world as a black person.
The psyche of a man is to take care of his family the best that he can. You put that 200, 300 years ago on a slave plantation,
Man, what?
It's damn near the lack thereof.
Built on our backs.
And it's like, how does a black man protect his family unit in this time period where he's lesser than a human and he's owned property?
Mm-hmm.
I can only protect my son this far.
Mm-hmm.
I can only protect my daughter this far. I can only protect my wife this far.
Mm.
Like, what? And it's like, why would I even want to have kids? Why would I want to bring something else into this? And it's a lot harder than just like problems that we have in the modern world, like abuse, something deeper than that.
Wow. That's a very interesting thought. Why would you want to bring anyone else into this mess? Knowing that they're going to have struggles, that they're going to have pain, knowing that they're not going to ask for any of whatever they're going to go through. But at the same time, there's a reason that you're able to do that. There's a reason that you're able to bring a life into the world because you're capable of handling that.
Right?
You're capable of handling it. That's where the good part comes in because it's not just a sob story. It's not just a oh my God, what are we gonna do? It's as long as you have God with you, you got this.
You got this.
You got this. You know what I'm saying?
Man, the older I get,
because it's not like it was your choice to bring them here anyway. It's not like it was that he wanted them here in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
My mom said when she was a kid, she was a kid. She was with my grandfather. They was working on something.
Yeah.
And she said, my grandfather yelled at her. You know, that's her daddy. You know, yelled at her like, blah blah blah. And she was like, "Look, man, I didn't ask to be here." He said, "And neither did I." But we here. Look,
that's some true shit. That's true. That is so true.
We're here. I believe we're all here for an individual purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I tell folks, you know, the good Lord ain't through with me yet. And the more I hear old folks start talking, man, the more things start making more sense in this younger age.
Man, every action has a reaction. You're here because you're supposed to be reacting in the world and doing something else outside of yourself. Everybody has a purpose. That's all. Honestly, when I sat here and I wanted to start this, you know, this show or whatever it turns into, I wanted to bring a focus of that love still exists.
Mm-hmm.
It comes in many different forms.
Mm.
It's not just Dollar General, Walmart, rollback, Hearts candy.
Yeah.
Rose petals, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Red, pink, no. Love can be cold. Love comes in so many phases of your everyday life, and we don't even notice it.
I was watching this guy, this theologian, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, you know how it made me think about how complicated love is.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said in the English language, what we're speaking right now,
right,
there's only one word for love, and that's love. That's it. But he says, like in Greek, there's 4 different words for 4 different levels of love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like romantic love, the love you would care for your family or your children, there's protective love, and then there's the love we share with God. And you put that in perspective, and it's like, yeah, unfortunately, sometimes it's the little things that really do matter and count.
Honestly, man. Honestly, I mean, you know, if we want to take it off track a little bit, even when it comes to the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Women, they always talk about the little things.
The little things.
A lot of brothers don't get that, man. You know, I'm guilty of it too. I think that you have to go above and beyond, you know, like just come out your pocket and just throw money at the problem sometimes, even when you can't afford to. No, it's not. That's not what they're looking for. They want something that's genuine from you, that involves your thought process, because to them that's worth more than money if you have a good woman.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You know the one thing I'd say mothers love when they have children?
What's that?
Those doggone macaroni pictures that they made in school.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Like, it's something innocent and beautiful about that. You know, something so young, but it's like you was thinking about me when you made this baby.
Man, I'm telling you.
And then that just turns into something else that's still small. I was thinking about you.
Yeah. Right. And the thing is, I'm glad you brought that up, because you start out as a youngin', you know what I'm saying, as a little boy. There's a woman that you always got to think about, and that's your mom.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't teach you that whichever woman you meet in your life, of course, you know, it may be more than one that, you know, you have to go through the stages of your life to get to. But if you don't hold that person at that time, whoever you're dealing with, at that, if not on the same level, at some point of love in that way, you got a problem.
You do.
You got a problem, because you got little toddlers, little boys who love just hanging on their mama.
Ain't no one hanging on daddy.
No, just love hanging on their mama, man. It's like it's innate. It's innate. I don't care what anyone says. Hate is a learned behavior. It's definitely learned behavior.
You're right, because I remember when I took a psychology class, and I found out that tantrums for children are a learned behavior. That a child learns a tantrum from their parents.
Explain on that. What do you mean?
Like if you got a kid, if you have a child one day, God bless.
Talk about it.
And you and your wife have a solid family unit. You don't cuss in front of that child. You know, you don't have to like necessarily want for anything, and you have a relatively good life by someone's standards. And one day, your child says, "I don't want that." Rolls around on the ground, screams, anything like that. Where does it come from? Like, the aspect of having a tantrum doesn't inherently come natural. Because at a certain age, around that toddler year, when they're 4, and they're with other kids, they're learning it from other kids. You could say, think about everyone who says, my child is the most precious child in the world. Right. As long as they're around me, there ain't nothing wrong. You put them somewhere else, they raising hell. So it's like what? So like the aspect of like hate, it's learned, right? Because it's like love. You give love to a kid unconditionally. Is love learned? Or I feel like love comes more natural than hate. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I'm gonna say something too. I don't care how anybody has a way to feel about it. I got beat. He got beat. Holla at your boy. Come on.
You know my perspective.
She did everything in the book. Whatever was in arm's reach. My mama is 5'3", but she got a 12-foot radius. I'm telling you, she will get something and fling it at your ass from across the room.
Ah, what was that?
Man, look. She said she used to throw the shot put. I believe, man. And my dad used to be a quarterback too. Man, look.